AITAH for telling my wife to take Trump out of the family prayer. Hello Reddit talkative here. Look, I know this probably sounds a bit bizarre. Trust me, I 32 million didn't think I'd be asking this question in 2024. But here we are. Let me paint the picture. I'm a politically neutral kind of guy. The kind who'd rather eat week-old leftovers than get into a political debate. My wife, 25F on the other hand, is as hardcore MAGA as it gets. I mean, we're talking red hats, American flag leggings, and a Facebook feed that reads like a campaign rally. I've learned to let most of it slide. I mean, it's not hurting me directly, right? Sure, sometimes she posts wild stuff on social media, like the time she straight up asked my childhood friend if he was documented. Yep, a guy I've known since we were building sandcastles in kindergarten. Spoiler, he's as Midwest corn-fed as it gets. Anyway, you get the idea. But last month, things took a weird turn. One night, she was tucking our son into bed. They read a book, and then she did the usual bedtime prayer. Please watch over Mommy, Daddy, Grandpa, and Trump. Yep, you read that right. My brain hit the brakes. Why was she praying for Trump like he was our long-lost uncle? Politely, I asked, why is he in our family prayer? And boom, she launched into a passionate speech about how he's persecuted and how the country needs him. I shrugged and let it go, because arguing with my wife about politics is like trying to convince a cat to take a bath. But it didn't stop there. She added Trump to every prayer, dinner prayer, and bless Trump, amen. Said so fast I barely had time to swallow my mashed potatoes. Last night, though, things hit a new level. My dad had a small stroke and was in the hospital. I gathered my wife and son and said a heartfelt prayer for him. And right before I said amen, my wife tacked on, and bless Trump. That was the breaking point. I turned to her angry and exhausted and said, please keep him out of our family prayers. This is personal. Our connection to God, not some campaign rally. Her eyes widened with fury, and she stormed off. We didn't speak for days. Then, the universe hit us with a gut punch. My dad had a major stroke and passed away in the hospital. Grief washed over our family like a tidal wave, and to my surprise, my wife was respectful. No Trump, no politics, just quiet support. I even thanked her afterward. That's when it got messy. She asked, what are you thanking me for? I awkwardly replied, for not bringing up Trump during the prayer for my dad, and oh boy did that light the match. She went off, asking if I thought she was heartless. I reminded her that she had prayed for Trump when Dad first had his stroke, and she threw back, that was before I knew it was serious. I stared at her, floored. It was my dad, I whispered. In a desperate attempt to explain, I showed her the Reddit post I made. She read through the comments, her anger bubbling over. She grabbed her keys, made a dramatic exit, and drove to her friend's house, leaving me with our son and no car. Then came the Facebook post. Oh, the Facebook post. She unleashed a rant about how I supposedly forced her to drop out of college, not true, and how I'm against her beliefs. She even added that I brainwashed our kid to be politically neutral. So there I was, painted as a villain on social media and feeling lower than low. But then, something unexpected happened. My son tugged at my shirt and asked if we could pray for Grandpa. He held my hand and said the sweetest, most heartfelt words a 5-year-old could muster, bringing tears to my eyes. When my wife finally came home, her expression softened at the sight of us. Our son looked up and, without prompting, added to his bedtime prayer, and bless Mommy, Daddy, Grandpa in heaven, and everyone, even the people we don't agree with. My wife and I exchanged a look. In that moment, all the political tension and Facebook drama seemed to melt away. We sat down together, holding hands as a family, and I realized something important. Maybe prayer and life doesn't have to be about winning or being right. Maybe it's about finding grace in our differences, loving each other through the chaos, and yes, even praying for the people who drive us nuts. From that day forward, we agreed to keep our family prayers focused on love, healing, and hope for everyone, no matter what side they're on. And for the first time in a long while, it felt like we were truly united, just a husband, a wife, and a little boy, lifting each other up, politics aside.